Have you ever wondered why that belly fat just won't budge, no matter how little you eat or how much you walk? You're doing everything right, cutting calories, staying active, but when you look in the mirror or try to button those pants, nothing's changed. And here's what really gets under your skin. Your doctor keeps warning you about your waistline, talking about diabetes risk and heart problems, but nobody's giving you answers that actually work for your age. Listen, if you're over 60 and feeling like your body has betrayed you, like you're fighting a battle you can never win, you need to hear this. There's a specific reason why belly fat becomes almost impossible to lose after 60, and it has nothing to do with willpower or eating less. In fact, eating less might be making it worse. Recent research has shown that one particular type of exercise can reduce belly fat by up to 3% in seniors, and it's probably not what you think. But here's the thing, this isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually works with your changing body instead of against it. That stubborn belly fat isn't just about how you look, it's wrapping around your organs right now, creating inflammation, messing with your blood sugar, and stealing your energy every single day. So before you try another diet or spend another hour on that treadmill getting nowhere, you need to understand why everything you've tried has failed and what you should be doing instead. Here's what nobody tells you about losing weight after 60. Your body is playing by completely different rules now. And if you don't understand this, you'll keep spinning your wheels forever. When you do traditional cardio like walking for hours or cut your calories way down, your body doesn't respond the way it did when you were 40 or 50. Instead of burning fat, something else happens that makes everything worse. Your metabolism slows down even more and your body starts breaking down muscle tissue for energy, which is the last thing you want. See, after 60, you're already losing about 3 to 8% of your muscle mass every decade. And when you add restrictive dieting and too much cardio on top of that, you're basically telling your body to hold on to belly fat for dear life. And here's the kicker, less muscle means a slower metabolism, which means your body burns fewer calories just sitting still, which makes losing belly fat nearly impossible. Then there's the hormonal situation. Your growth hormone levels have dropped, your testosterone or estrogen isn't what it used to be, and cortisol, that stress hormone, tends to run higher, especially around your midsection. All of this creates a perfect storm that locks belly fat in place. But the biggest problem is that most approaches completely ignore the one thing that actually reverses this entire process. So what actually works instead? Well, you need to rebuild what's been lost. Let's talk about what's really happening inside your body, because belly fat after 60 isn't just regular fat sitting there looking bad in your clothes. The fat around your midsection, especially the deep stuff called visceral fat, is completely different from the fat on your arms or legs. This fat is metabolically active, which means it's actually producing hormones and inflammatory chemicals that mess with your entire system. It wraps around your liver, your intestines, your heart, and it's constantly releasing substances that increase your risk for type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. Every single day this fat is there. It's creating low-grade inflammation throughout your body, which is why you might feel more tired, achy, or just off. Your organs can't function properly when they're surrounded by this toxic fat, and it directly interferes with how your body processes insulin, which explains why your blood sugar might be creeping up. Now, here's something important. You can't just do sit-ups or crunches and make it disappear. Spot reduction is a myth, always has been. But here's what's not a myth, targeting the root cause of why this fat accumulates in the first place. When you address the metabolic and hormonal factors that create visceral fat, your body naturally starts pulling from those dangerous belly fat stores first. And the most powerful way to flip those switches in your body to reverse the hormonal decline and rebuild your fat burning machinery comes down to one specific type of exercise that most seniors are completely ignoring. The number one exercise method that actually targets belly fat after 60 is resistance training. And before you think this means becoming a bodybuilder or lifting heavy weights at the gym, just stay with me. Resistance training is simply any exercise where your muscles work against some kind of resistance, whether that's light dumbbells, resistance bands, or even your own body weight. Here's why this changes everything for belly fat. When you do resistance training, you're building and maintaining muscle tissue, And muscle is your metabolism's best friend. Every pound of muscle you have burns calories 24 hours a day, even while you're sleeping or watching television. Studies have shown that seniors who do resistance training just 2 to 3 times per week can reduce their body fat percentage by around 3%, and that fat comes primarily from the belly area. But it goes deeper than that. Resistance training triggers hormonal responses that specifically target visceral fat. It increases your insulin sensitivity, which means your body handles blood sugar better and stores less fat around your organs. It boosts your production of growth hormone and other fat, burning hormones that have declined with age. It reduces inflammation and improves how your body partitions nutrients, sending more energy to muscle instead of fat storage. This isn't about looking like a fitness model. This is about rebuilding your metabolism from the inside out. If you're serious about finally losing that stubborn belly fat, hit that subscribe button right now, because we're sharing strategies like this every week on Health After 60. But here's the critical part. You need to do this the right way, or it simply won't work for your body. Now, let me show you exactly how to do this safely, because the last thing you need is an injury that sets you back months. First, understand that resistance training for seniors looks nothing like what younger people do at the gym. You don't need heavy weights, fancy equipment, or complicated routines. You can start with bodyweight exercises like wall push-ups, chair squats, or simply standing up and sitting down from a chair repeatedly. If you want to add resistance, a pair of light dumbbells, maybe 3 to 8 pounds, or some inexpensive resistance bands work perfectly. The key movements that target belly fat are compound exercises, which means they work multiple muscle groups at once. Think squats or modified squats, any kind of pushing movement for your chest and arms, rowing or pulling movements for your back, and some core work that doesn't strain your neck or lower back. You only need about 20 to 30 minutes per session, and 2 to 3 times per week is the sweet spot for most seniors. More isn't better, especially when you're starting out. Your muscles need time to recover and rebuild, which is when the magic actually happens. Start with movements you can do comfortably for 8 to 12 repetitions, and when that feels manageable, either add another set or increase the resistance slightly. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself. It's to challenge your muscles just enough that they adapt and grow stronger. But most people mess this up completely by making 3 critical mistakes that stop all progress dead in its tracks. And I need to tell you what those are right now. Mistake number 1 is doing too much too soon because you're motivated and want results fast. You jump in, exercise 4 or 5 days a week, push yourself hard, and within 2 weeks you're either injured, completely burned out, or so sore you can barely move. Your body after 60 needs more recovery time than it used to, and when you don't respect that, you're actually breaking down muscle instead of building it. Mistake number 2 is staying at the same level forever. You start with light resistance, it feels good, but then 6 months later you're still doing the exact same thing with the same weights or the same number of repetitions. Your body adapts quickly, and if you don't gradually increase the challenge, what's called progressive overload, your muscles have no reason to grow and your metabolism has no reason to speed up. You'll hit a plateau and wonder why nothing's changing anymore. Mistake number 3 is treating exercise like it's the only thing that matters and completely ignoring recovery. Sleep, rest days, proper nutrition, these aren't optional extras. They're where the actual fat loss happens. Your body repairs and builds muscle while you sleep. And if you're only getting 5 or 6 hours a night, or you're training every single day without breaks, you're sabotaging everything. After 60, patience isn't just a virtue, it's your strategy. Slow, steady, consistent progress beats aggressive spurts every single time, with some supporting strategies that amplify everything we've talked about. While resistance training is your foundation, there are several other factors that can speed up your belly fat loss or completely stall it. Let's start with protein, because after 60, your body doesn't use protein as efficiently as it used to. You need about 25 to 30 grams of quality protein with each meal to maintain and build muscle. Think eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, or even plant-based options like beans and lentils. Spreading protein throughout the day keeps your muscle building signal turned on. Next is sleep quality, and this is huge. When you don't get 7 to 8 hours of good sleep, your body produces more cortisol, that stress hormone that directly tells your body to store fat around your belly. Poor sleep also increases hunger hormones and decreases the ones that make you feel full, so you end up eating more without even realizing it. Then there's stress management, because chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated all day long, and cortisol is like a magnet for belly fat. Simple practices like deep breathing, spending time in nature, or doing activities you enjoy can make a measurable difference. Don't underestimate walking either. While it's not the main solution, a daily 20 to 30-minute walk helps with insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and complements your resistance training perfectly. And here's one most people forget: staying hydrated. Even mild dehydration slows your metabolism and makes you feel hungrier than you actually are. If you found this valuable and want more practical health strategies designed specifically for people over 60, make sure you subscribe to Health After 60 right now. Now let me give you the exact weekly blueprint that ties all of this together. Here's how to structure your week for maximum belly fat loss without overwhelming yourself. You'll do resistance training 2 to 3 times per week with at least one full day of rest between sessions. Let's say Monday and Wednesday and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, whatever fits your schedule best. Each session takes about 20 to 30 minutes once you get the hang of it. Start with a simple 5-minute warm-up, just marching in place, arm circles, or gentle movement to get your blood flowing. Then do 4 to 6 exercises that cover your whole body. One exercise for legs like squats or step-ups, one pushing movement like wall or counter push-ups, one pulling movement like resistance band rows, one for your core like standing knee raises or modified planks, and maybe 1 or 2 more based on what you enjoy. For each exercise, aim for 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions with about 60 seconds rest between sets. Don't worry about tracking every single detail when you start. Just focus on completing the movements with good form. As for measuring progress, forget obsessing over the scale every day. Weigh yourself once a week at the same time, but also pay attention to how your clothes fit, your energy levels, and how much easier daily activities become. Take measurements of your waist every 2 weeks, because sometimes the inches disappear before the pounds do. As you get stronger, add 1 or 2 more repetitions or increase your resistance slightly every few weeks. But what if you're dealing with joint pain or other physical limitations that make this seem impossible? If you're dealing with arthritis, the key is choosing low impact variations and avoiding positions that put pressure on inflamed joints. Instead of regular squats, try sitting down and standing up from a higher surface like a chair with armrests. For upper body work, resistance bands are gentler on arthritic hands than gripping dumbbells. If you have knee problems, avoid deep squats and lunges and focus on partial range movements or leg exercises that don't bend the knee much, like standing leg lifts or seated leg extensions. Wall push-ups are perfect because they take pressure off your knees entirely. For back issues, skip any exercise that requires bending forward or twisting, and focus on movements that keep your spine neutral. Standing exercises are usually safer than floor work, and you can do modified planks against a wall or counter instead of on the ground. Balance concerns are real after 60, so always have a sturdy chair or counter nearby that you can hold onto if needed. Start every new movement near a wall or solid surface until you feel stable. And here's important: if you have any cardiovascular conditions, uncontrolled blood pressure, or you've had recent surgery, talk to your healthcare provider before starting any new exercise program. They might have specific modifications for your situation. The beauty of resistance training is that it's infinitely adaptable. You can make almost any movement easier or harder based on where you are right now. If you want more senior, specific health guidance like this, subscribe to Health After 60, because we're here to help you navigate these exact challenges. So, what can you realistically expect when you start putting all of this into action? Let's talk about what actually happens when you commit to this approach. In weeks 1 through 4, you probably won't see dramatic changes on the scale, but you'll notice you're sleeping better, you have more energy throughout the day, and everyday tasks like carrying groceries or getting up from a chair feel easier. This is your body starting to rebuild. Weeks 5 through 8 is where things get interesting. Your clothes start fitting differently, especially around your waist. You might drop a belt notch or notice your shirts aren't as tight. The scale might show 3 to 6 pounds gone, but more importantly, you're losing inches from your belly. By weeks 9 through 12, people start commenting that you look different. your posture improves, you move with more confidence, and that stubborn belly fat is visibly shrinking. But here's what matters most: you're not just losing fat, you're rebuilding your health from the inside out. Your blood sugar stabilizes, inflammation decreases, your heart gets stronger, and you're adding years of quality life back. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. 2 or 3 resistance training sessions per week, better protein intake, decent sleep, and patience. That's the formula. Your body after 60 is still capable of incredible transformations. You just need to work with it instead of against it. If you're ready to take control of your health and finally say goodbye to that belly fat for good, subscribe to Health After 60 right now, because we're building a community of people just like you who refuse to let age define their limits. Your belly fat doesn't stand a chance when you give your body what it actually needs to thrive.